Jesus. Sit up.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Chit, Chat and Chai. And today is a special one because we're joined by our very first guest. I will introduce you briefly and then you can kind of go ahead and tell us about yourself.
And my name is Numan.
Yes, of course. Numan, how could we forget? Everyone knows you by this point. But
Okay.
Here, our guest, Shahruh Mirzo, but he likes to go by Mirzo. He is an international relations master's student at Monash University in his second year, I believe. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi guys, my name is Mirzo and I'm the student here in Australia, in Melbourne. Came here like 2 years ago to just do my master's degree at Monash. Alhamdulillah, almost finished. Yeah, just 2 more semesters left. Yeah, I was born in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Yeah, and I mostly raised like in the Russian-speaking environment until I reached 18. And then I moved to Istanbul and lived there and did my bachelor's degree for 4 years. While I was doing my bachelor degree, I traveled a little bit inside of the Turkey. Yeah, it was fun. It was like a sightseeing and just seeing the historical places, especially in like places like Izmir, Diyarbakir, Mardin.
Beautiful places, Güzel.
Yes,
Yeah.
Judah. And yeah, and then I came to Australia, and here it's just visiting Melbourne so far. Yeah, just traveling around Victoria. Yeah, that's all about me.
So you're a big traveler. You really like
Yeah,
traveling. huh?
yeah, I like to travel.
That's
I like
good.
traveling
That's
a lot.
So what brought you to Melbourne in particular? Was it the opportunity to study, something else? Like
I
maybe
think-
live in a Western society for a bit?
Yeah, that one too. And I think the living outside of the like very Asian style family, like being abroad, like very very far from home, and just feel the like diversity and the different language. Like I mean, I spoke English before coming here, but it was like always hard to engage with other English speaking people, and yeah, that's why I choose Melbourne especially because it's diverse, food is good, and the coffee probably.
Oh, the coffee.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yeah.
says Melbourne's coffee is
Well,
like
it's
one of the
not
best in the
Yeah,
world.
yeah, it's
I don't
good.
see it to be
It's
honest.
good.
Maybe I'm not a huge coffee drinker.
Yeah.
I'm more of a obviously staying on brand for chai.
Yeah.
But Melbourne has beautiful
Yeah.
coffee and beautiful food. So it's a good decision, I think, overall, if you're coming here just for the coffee. Also the study purposes, right? You study
Yes.
at Monash
Yeah.
University.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you're studying at Monash.
Yeah.
And have you found any other Uzbeks at Monash? I was gonna say Monashistan. Have you found any other
Oh.
Uzbeks at Monash?
Monashistan.
Unfortunately, no. Like
No.
no, I never seen like I seen the Uzbek guy the first day I came here.
Hmm.
Like we shared the same Airbnb with him. Like it was one of the
Oh.
random things that I had so far.
That was just random.
Yeah, I was
Coincidence.
I was just staying outside and speaking with my mom on FaceTime, and the guy just walked in and he called me just, where are you from? I said, I'm from Uzbekistan, and he was like, from Uzbekistan too, and from Sirdarya. And I'm like, oh, okay, and we just shared the group. But I think in Victoria it's approximately like 120 Uzbek people total.
Yeah.
So
I haven't
it's-
met any.
Yeah,
Uzbeks, like
yeah.
personally.
Yeah.
There's only one other person that I never really got along with. I just like not that I didn't like them, but I never got to see them or whatever. I just said, "Oh, are you Uzbek?" They said, "Yeah, I'm Uzbek too." Oh, it's okay. And then that was it. It was
Yeah.
just at an event, and then that was it. In all of my time being in Melbourne,
Yeah,
so
me
nothing
too.
really
Like,
personal.
it's very
Wonder
rare
where
to
they
see.
all are. I feel like there was more in the group chat than 120. The one that you.
Yeah, because they're from
Yeah.
like a Sydney, like people in
Okay.
Sydney joined our group too. So
Fair
yeah,
enough,
so that's
fair
why it's like
enough.
180 day.
Okay.
But it's like a 20.
Only 100 something. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And then all of a
It's my
sudden,
interest.
I don't know whether it's by destiny or fate, but we came across each other in one of our classes. If you
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
In human rights.
Human rights.
Yes,
yeah, in human rights class. Yeah, it was.
So for those who don't know, I was doing my Masters of Global Business, but I was doing an elective in human rights. And I saw Mirzo like in my first class, my first lecture, and I was like, this guy looks a little bit Uyghur, so. But I didn't say anything for a while,
Yeah.
and then I think in the third or fourth
Yeah.
class you came up to me and you asked me like, where are you from?
Yeah.
And
Do
I
people
just
ever guess that you're Uzbek?
Nah. Do
No?
people think I'm Italian?
yeah.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
really?
like,
Italian?
sometimes it's random. They say, "Why you have French accent?"
Ah.
Even though I don't know if I have French
I'll
accent
tell
or
you
not.
something about Central Asians. We can pass for like almost like
A lot of
anywhere
things.
between like Southern Europe
And Latin America.
and Latin America. Yeah, yeah.
The people are so
Yeah.
random. Yeah.
It's
like,
really
yeah.
like random. We have like blondes, we have like blue-eyed people,
Yeah.
all sorts.
Yeah, the Tartars.
Yeah.
The Central Asians.
Yeah, Tatars as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. So tell us about Russians in Uzbekistan. Are there a lot? Are there more like that people that are mixed in totally? So do you tell the difference?
Yeah, of course. We can tell the difference between Russian who was born there and the Russian who came from the Russia.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
we can tell the difference there
Yeah.
because the Russians who was born in Uzbekistan pick up the language, like
Yeah.
they know like little slang of Uzbek words and they say it like when you're in a conversation. But like Russian from like mainland Russia and they don't use this kind of words, which is like we can say hey brat, it
Yeah.
means hey bro,
Yeah.
like mixing Uzbek and Russian. And the Russian people like Uzbek born Russians like can do that same, but like Russians never do that. Yeah, and the fun fact, it's more Koreans in Uzbekistan than Russians.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
There's
Koreans?
quite a big Korean diaspora.
Which
Yeah.
which Korea though? The southern or
No,
north?
it is North. Yeah,
Oh,
because
North Korea.
because of the communism.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, they pick up very like when they came to Uzbekistan,
Mm.
they become part of the Uzbek people very very fast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right,
especially in the kimchi, for example, they used to have kimchi, but in Central Asia you cannot find the like what do you use for kimchi?
Like cabbage.
Cabbage,
Yeah,
cabbage.
yeah,
Oh,
They,
okay.
they couldn't find the
You can't
cabbage.
find,
No.
you don't grow cabbage.
No,
in-
we grow the
okay.
cabbage, but it's not like
Not the same.
Korean cabbage they
Okay.
call it. Yeah, it's not the
Mm.
same.
Mm.
And they use the carrot for that.
Carrot.
The yellow carrot called markovcha.
Yes, yes.
It's a
yes.
Central Asian born Korean food.
Well, interesting you say that because I was in an Uzbek restaurant in Italy, in Milan, and the girl that was working there was actually Korean.
Yeah,
Mm.
It's really funny.
and most of the
So-
surnames are Kim.
Okay.
It's a fact.
Wow.
Okay,
Kim.
very cool.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you're saying that the Koreans kind of assimilated it
Yeah, and very very fast.
very fast.
Yeah, and I think that it's because of the they speak Russian mostly that I can understand, but it's a theory that the all Korean and Japanese people and Turkish share a little bit similarities,
Yeah.
especially in the language. So I believe because of that we just assimilated them very very quickly and very very fast. Even though we have like a little bit racist jokes against them inside of the community, but like it will stay in the between us and the Uzbek born Korean people there.
Okay, yeah. Don't tell us any.
Yeah.
You might get some North Koreans deported.
Yeah, bro. All these North Koreans who watch our podcast.
Yeah, I want to visit North Korea. It's like a 1K.
Imagine if there was
1K?
one viewer.
Yeah, from here to go to China.
Oh, it's $1,000.
$1,000, yeah,
from
$1,000.
here. Oh wow, yeah.
To go
yeah.
to China.
You
apply
can't go
for-
straight to North Korea. You gotta
No,
go
no,
China.
unfortunately, you need to
and
go
then-
China, apply for visa,
Yeah.
and then visit North Korea.
Is it easier for Uzbeks to go into North Korea? Do you reckon?
Probably, yeah.
I'm actually trying to go to North Korea.
Yeah, so
To
yeah.
be honest,
It's-
yeah, even
it's-
as an Australian, and
Huh?
actually now I got my Turkish citizenship recently.
Yeah, use the Turkish
Yeah.
citizenship.
Is that
yeah,
better?
probably. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. And
I think they hate the West in the total.
would you ever go to North Korea
Yeah,
just
of
to see
course.
the cultural exchange?
Yeah,
you know, maybe they
yeah.
have something in
For real.
similarity with.
Just make sure
Russians
that
and
you don't
Uzbeks.
take
I-
anything
I-
back home with you.
Yeah, don't
'Cause,
smuggle any
yeah.
wine.
You don't want any posters of Kim Jong Un.
No,
Away
that's
Any
not
any
good.
any maybe if you want for yourself.
as far as I'm not USA citizen, I will be okay in North Korea probably.
I think
Yeah.
it'll be fine. Yeah.
so. If I do go into North Korea, I should use my Turkish citizenship.
Yeah,
my
use
Turkish,
the Turkish one.
ID. You know, actually, I had plans of cycling, taking my bicycle from South Korea to North Korea. So
Oh, I think
going
you can't
from the
do
south
that.
to the north. Why not? I think it would absolutely
Challenge.
happen.
Yeah, it's yeah.
No, but okay, so there's
It's a
this.
minefield. You need
Yeah,
to you
yeah.
need to
This
pass.
is-
it.
All right. But I have a
Challenge.
bike, so I can easily swerve through
Yeah,
the
okay.
line. You know? No. But really though, there's a demilitarized zone which I've seen, online. Maybe I've seen too much online, but basically you get tours into that demilitarized zone. And I was thinking, there are bus tours. What if I were to go from one half of South Korea to the other, all the way to the north, where I get into this, tour with my bike, or if they don't allow it, take the bus and my bike, and then we enter North Korea. So I'm still in North Korea with a bike.
Yeah, okay. that makes sense. That's a little bit cheating, but yeah, it makes sense.
He doesn't care, bro. As long as he gets it done, and
Yeah. Hey,
he's gonna edit out all the parts where he's on the bus and stuff.
Yeah.
No, I'll be on top
Yeah.
of the bus and I'll be pretending I'm
Oh,
cycling
yeah,
at
okay.
like
Maybe
How much
100
of that
kilometers an
Japan
hour.
trip was actually done by bike? Like all of it?
It was. Look. I'll be very, very honest. I've only told maybe a few people, but so I'll just say, I went to Japan.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the other episode. I went to Japan by bike. Sorry. I traveled across Osaka to Tokyo by
Okay.
bike, so about 500 kilometers. And there was only one part that I couldn't really do. It was still 500 kilometers, but the tunnel leading to the other side of the city was blocked off. So I asked them, is there any other way I can go? They said you can only go through the highway. That's really dangerous though, because a bike, you can't really take a bike on a highway. So I happened to make a friend there who's actually Turkish, and he had a kebab shop in the city I was trying to get to. So I asked him, can you pick me up? Well, he offered, I can pick you up, and I stayed over at his house, and then we went by car the next day.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
I mean, like 10K, it's okay, probably.
I think 10K is alright.
Like,
Yeah, it's
out of
just 10K.
500, yeah.
It was still. I took a lot of detours. It could have been, I think, maybe 550 kilometers.
Let him off the hook for this one.
Yeah,
but I do
yeah.
hope I'm forgiven.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
he's
It's a bit
forgiven.
risky.
Yeah.
It was for a good cause. So
yeah,
it
getting
was for a good cause.
450 kilometers on bike, it's
It's
very, very
crazy.
hard.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
pretty much the distance from like Melbourne to Canberra.
No, I would say like half of. So it was still about 500 kilometers, and half of Melbourne to Sydney would
Melbourne
be
to Sydney.
about 500
Okay.
or so
Yeah,
kilometers.
Just,
Melbourne to like outer edges of New South Wales.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
probably yeah. Interesting.
Fair enough.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
That's
so,
pretty
so tell us, do you have any inspirations when it comes to traveling? Like, is there someone that you know in history, or someone that you might know familiarly as a part of your family that has inspired you to travel?
Since you are such a big traveler yourself,
Yeah, like from.
is it in your blood? Do you reckon? First of all, like
Yeah, of course. Like all Turkic people are nomadic. Yeah. So
Nomadic,
so
yeah.
my ancestors' bloodline sometimes hits, and I go like to travel.
Seferci.
Seferci. It's Arabic. Yeah.
It is Arabic, but we use it as well.
Yeah. Seferci. But in my family, like nobody really travels. I'm the first one who just get out from Uzbekistan. Like like after my parents, like
First generation.
probably
Okay.
like who go outside and live there for
Oh.
a couple of years there. Yeah.
Did you say that your parents were migrants to Uzbekistan before, or were they there for like many generations?
I mean, it's a many generation, but yeah,
Okay.
obviously we came to the Uzbekistan from
Okay.
somewhere. Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, everyone came
Yeah.
from somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
So it's come to inspiration. It's like I'll say like a Marco Polo, who just did the solo travel in like the 12th century. Ibn Battuta.
Yeah.
Did speak about today.
Speaking of,
Yeah.
Ibn Battuta. Now, you told me that you were really like excited to talk about Ibn Battuta.
Yeah.
He's known as the Muslim Marco Polo
Yeah.
in the Islamic world. Can you tell us a little bit about who he is? Maybe like what inspired you to kind of also travel the world as well? Yeah.
So Ibn Battuta is the guy who was born in Morocco, in Tangier.
Okay.
Yeah. And he traveled 28 years across the globe.
Yeah.
But the fun fact is, he didn't spend any money. Even though when he went to some sultanates, the kings gave him money to stay with them. Yeah. So that's inspirational, because some Western community didn't see about Islamic civilization and networking as this. Yeah, and when he traveled, he went to it's called Tekke and Tekke. It means like a monasteries for the Muslim people.
Okay.
When they just learn like Islamic science, like they learn like astrology or like Quran, or like how to interpret the Quran, yeah. And whenever city he went to this kind of monasteries and live with them all day.
Dang.
But the wanting to be, and you don't to be part of that monastery, to live with them.
Yeah.
The main thing, you should be Sufi.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did see that.
Yeah.
When I was doing my research, I saw that he was a Sufi Muslim, and I think he kind of struggled to like really apply some of that like in his travels, because some places were Salafi, as you know, like fundamentalists.
Yeah,
And yeah,
and he's the Maliki.
yeah, Maliki,
Yeah, he's from the one of the 4 scholars of the Sunnah, as we can say that.
Yes.
Yep. And the travel, fun fact of his travel, he went to the Delhi, like New Delhi,
Yes.
when there was the Turkish Empire.
Let's
the
talk
Turkic
about like which countries he visited first of all.
Oh, he visited the Maldives,
Maldives.
China,
Mm.
Siberia
Maldives. How did he get to Maldives?
by boat.
Wow, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just thinking,
Yeah,
like, how did he
Sumatra.
end up there?
No, he swam there.
Yeah, Sumatra. He
Yeah,
went to
He was an
Sumatra,
excellent swimmer.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a Philippines, but it's
Yeah, all over the
it's the names of the today. Yeah, but
Yeah.
on that time it was a little bit different.
So from
Yeah,
what
of
I
course.
know,
He went to Astrakhan, like now it's Russia. It was and the Dasht Kipchak, which is the Crimea now.
Crimea
Yeah.
as well. Okay.
He went to Mecca, Medina first,
Yes, he did.
and then come back to Tangier for like after 4 years, and then went to the 20 years of traveling he did.
20 years.
20
I thought
years
it
of
was
non-stop traveling.
24.
Yeah, so first 4 years
Okay.
he went to Mecca
Okay.
and Medina, come back to Tangier, and the 20 years of consecutive without coming back to the home country.
And I believe
Yeah.
it was 117,000 kilometers.
Yeah.
From what I did my
Yeah.
research on it.
I mean, putting that into perspective, that's like, going to Sydney or just a bit further than Sydney, 170 times.
170
Like
times.
going back and forth, back
Yeah.
and forth.
And you do it by by camels.
Yeah.
Yeah, by
There
camels.
were no
no
cars back
yeah,
in the
by,
day.
Yeah,
by
yeah.
camels.
There were no
That's-
Teslas back in the
yeah.
day that would drive you to like your destination without
Yeah.
even having to like steering the wheel.
Even no planes. Like
Yeah.
I think planes is more comfortable
Yeah,
than like driving
and-
Tesla.
And
Yeah.
like you were saying, he did a lot of this just by himself and making connections abroad.
Yeah,
Like he was really, really adept at finding really powerful people in every country that
Yeah.
he visited, making connections and pretty much building his reputation
Yeah.
in every country that he went.
and the guy like him, like a very very important
really smart.
Muslim scholar, it's very rare to find on these days.
Yeah.
How many people travel across the world on
Yeah.
like a 14th century?
We do need a lot more travelers.
He was a
even today as
pioneer.
well, I
Yeah.
He was a
think.
pioneer of his
Yeah.
kind.
Even today, like
Yeah.
to move people from somewhere to other place, it's very very hard.
Yeah.
So that story will spread around the like sultanates, like dynasties,
He was.
and everywhere he went, the two different monasteries will fight each other with who he gonna stay.
Yeah. Wow.
And as you can see, like in Central Asia, the guest should stay minimum 3 days. You cannot make them go before 3 days. It's one of the hospitalities that the Central Asian people
That's
hate.
probably why it took 20 years to travel. He had to stay
Yeah.
at so many people's houses for 3 days at
Yeah.
least.
And they
And-
were giving him food,
Everything.
water, like even wives. He married like in every country that he went to, I
Yeah.
think. He had like
Yeah.
concubines.
Wow.
But like,
Okay.
we're not condoning any of it, but it happened. He had like
Yeah.
many wives and many children with those wives.
Yeah,
as well.
he had like a 15
Yeah.
wives, but
Yeah.
the
So
thing,
we could be descendants of Ibn Battuta.
Who knows,
Yeah.
bro? If you ever went
Yeah.
to where was your dad from, Numan?
Oh, Namangan? Oh, or
Namangan,
like
yeah.
no. Wait, what do you mean? Like my dad's family
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
in Uzbekistan?
Yeah.
I don't know if you know Uchi and Namangan and that.
well,
area.
Namanga, I know Namanga.
Yeah,
it's
Yeah,
a-
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
You probably would've
Namangani.
gone there, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
Namanga is a beautiful city, like
It
one
is.
of it's like mountains, rivers. It's very good, yeah, and they
Yeah.
have very good cult.
Well, do you feel like now that the excuse is that it's too expensive to travel? Do you feel like that's true, from your perspective?
It is not about the money; it's the visa restriction. Who just handle it. It's very like
Interesting.
I mean Australian people cannot relate to that, but like getting visa.
I know what you mean, though.
Yeah, but getting visa
Yeah.
to certain countries, it's
It's a pain in the ass.
Impossible. Like,
Yeah.
I get that, that's hard, but try traveling 6 hours at least out of Melbourne by plane into any country. It's a really, really tough travel sometimes.
yeah.
It's expensive
that's-
as well,
yeah.
having to take a plane. Because we can't, I wish we could, just take a train and then be in another country in,
Or, like-
2-3 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Europe.
I know. But like
Yeah.
when you move from maybe Australia to another country, you change the culture too. I think it's very rare in Europe when you go from, for example, Denmark to Sweden by train.
Yeah.
You just switch the culture. I think
Yeah.
it's the
The
same.
culture remains very
Yeah,
much
yeah,
similar.
and same
of
with the
course.
language. But for example, from here, if you go to Indonesia or
Mm.
Vietnam, it's just different culture,
Very
different
true.
people and different language. So I think, yeah, even though in Europe, if you wanted to see different culture, the closest one is Turkey. Yeah, probably with different language. Or yeah,
Even then, Turkey has become very European, extremely European, especially recently.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
it depends on where.
Yeah,
exactly you go.
Depends on
Istanbul.
where. Istanbul is the
Izmir,
cosmopolitan.
and especially the western
Yeah,
sides.
Izmir like one of the cosmopolitan like cities.
Cosmopolitan. Yeah, absolutely. A
cities
huge
in the-
different mix of all these different
Yeah,
cultures.
it's like
So it's not just western as well.
I
could
guess
say.
I didn't
Yeah.
experience the whole of Turkey then.
yeah, like
I
when you
know,
go,
I
yeah, if you go just
understand, yeah.
Istanbul, you cannot judge whole
can't.
Istanbul is
Turkey.
not all
there,
Turkey.
yeah.
Just like how Paris isn't all of France. You know,
Exactly.
everyone
Yeah,
judges
yeah,
France
like
off like
if you-
one city.
Yeah, if you go like for example Konya or like Inner Anatolia, that you see the what actual Turkey is. It's
Okay.
it's very different than the you can see on Istanbul or like
Right.
old like
Yeah.
Antalya, for example, Antalya. Or
Yeah,
like
I
all
feel like
the
Konya
weather-
would be a very spiritually
Yeah.
enlightening place if you go to Konya. That whole area, it's full of all that Sufi, spiritual
Yeah.
history as well.
and the place of Mevlana,
Yeah, absolutely.
that's Rumi.
Lana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
still than Rumi for the
Yes, yes.
Western community.
For the Western people. We all
Yeah.
know who Rumi is. Tabrisi, Shams Tabrisi. There's so many like Sufi legends
Yeah,
out there.
like
And I think
philosophers.
Ibn Battuta was one of them. And his legacy still remains to today.
Yeah.
He's very, very well regarded in the Islam community.
Yeah, of course, because he
He's
didn't.
legendary. His travels were legendary. The fact that he did all of this, he made that much impact in every country that he went to
Yeah.
is,
Mm.
and he
I think even
Yeah.
today as well, his legacy can be seen,
Yeah.
if that's what you mean as well, because he set an example, he set a standard for how you should treat the traveler and
Yes.
how a traveler should behave. We see a lot of tourists now, unfortunately, or not even just tourists, but visitors from another country, maybe perhaps wanting to work, wanting to study, and the way that they conduct themselves, whether they behave in someone else's country, sometimes they take it for granted, and sometimes they can be very arrogant, as if to say, oh, this country isn't as good as mine, so I can treat it however I want,
Yeah.
or these people are too polite to me, so I can treat them however I want. We see, unfortunately, I don't know if you know this guy, Johnny Somali, but he's American influencer, you could say. He's a content creator, and he went to Korea, he went to Japan. He's stuck in Korea, I think, in a Korean prison, but he takes advantage of their people by just being so rude to them, and he's just so misbehaved. And he finally got what he deserved. I think he got confronted on his live stream,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he keeps live streaming. And
Yeah, so-
it's the exact opposite of who Ibn Battuta,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
trying to set an example for. I mean,
well, it's the culture. People don't like to admit that actually there's a lot of culture that we can learn from
Yeah.
in the Middle East.
yeah.
And especially the Western world and parts of Asia don't like to admit that actually like there's a culture of hospitality in the Middle East and
Mm.
Central Asia that I think a lot of us could learn from.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
we were
absolutely.
grown up into it. I'm Uyghur, he's Uzbek, and you're part Uzbek and mostly Turkish.
Yeah.
So we know how it is to greet people,
Of course.
take them into our homes, to treat guests with respect. But the same can't be said with like the Jake Pauls and Logan Pauls who go to like
Yeah.
Japan and stuff.
No, of
like-
course, yeah, but
Yeah.
they're a very, I think they're a
Yeah.
small minority, to be honest, but they're
Yeah.
really highlighted on
Yeah.
and
in
they like to
modern history.
stigmatize the people, which
Yeah.
is I'm
Yeah.
against of it.
And we're not trying to say where our culture is superior because we're
Yeah.
more hospitable.
Yeah.
Of course, every culture has something very, strong about it and
Yeah.
very warm about it. And so, I think that it's just important for us in Australia to be able to share that culture. That's what makes Australia, I think, so unique.
Yeah.
Is that we have all these different cultures, and we can show, so my culture emphasizes on hospitality and having tea ready for guests and drinking tea, whenever we're at a job or whatever it is we might be doing after we eat food. And then other cultures might be about, something more patriotic, something more nationalistic that they want to just be able to embrace, You can take someone, for example, out of their country, but you can't take their country out of that
Yeah.
person, They're that country's embodiment wherever they go. So it's something that we need to recognize and just be able to accept, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is note down about Ibn Battuta. He's not only traveling; he's writing down the how, like, it's anthropological research of him. He wrote it down how people get buried in the certain countries.
Yeah, wow.
He wrote down about the sati culture in India. For example, when the husband dies, it's very awful. So the husband dies, the woman should burn themselves. Yeah. And he went to the Central Asia, and the thing he noted is so funny. And they say, oh, the women's they are equal to the man, which is in the Arabic world, it's very rare to see.
Yeah.
And they're like no covered, like because there are no mass in the Turkey, like in Central Asia, women are not covered on that day, even though they're Muslims. And he say that Turkic people never use sugar. Yeah, in Central Asia. Yeah, that's why when
that's
you.
a lie.
No, that's like.
In the time.
Right now it's a lie, but like.
Oh, I mean, I didn't use sugar in my tea. I don't know.
Yeah,
if that's,
but like, even the Swiss, they say.
Istanbul, they would give you sugar and everything.
Yeah, and they say it makes you die, the sugar. Yeah,
Die.
which is now the
I
proof.
mean,
It
that's
is
true.
truth. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But that's just another beautiful example of Ibn Battuta, how he is showing people that if you want to understand a culture, you got to live there.
Yeah.
You got to go there, travel, see it firsthand. But nowadays, we've fallen so, a victim to this technology that we have. It's a screen, but it's not a window. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like we can immediately see exactly how it is. We're seeing it through someone else's perspective usually. We're seeing things edited, and we're not able to really touch or feel or grasp physically or even figuratively what exactly the culture means to a person. It's just something on paper that we might read as well. You know, you can only imagine it. You can't really feel it until you go see it for yourself. We have refreshed our teas. We just want to say hoş geldiniz to the second part or second half of our chit chat and chai. Now, tell us, is there one thing that you've learnt the most from your travels, Mirza, that you'd like to share with everyone? Something that you've learnt as a lesson for everyone else that wants to travel?
Yeah, it's just when you go somewhere else, you should always respect the culture. Doesn't matter what culture and what culture or religion they go.
Yeah, of course.
It's the respect is one of the main part that you learn going.
Yeah.
Especially when I was traveling in Istanbul, even though we're all Muslims, but different scholars. Yeah, everybody will agree there. So yeah, and in some situation you have a little bit trouble, especially when you go to the east of Turkey and you to the mosque and you're praying like a little bit different than them.
Right.
And
Because you're Maliki, you said, yeah? Right.
And
Because you're Maliki, you said, yeah?
No.
Sorry.
No.
Ibn Battuta Maliki.
Ibn Battuta is Maliki. I am Hanafi.
Oh, you're Hanafi. Okay, yeah. No, because I was going to say, Maliki's... I mean, I imagine maybe there was a... I don't know if it was an obstacle for Ibn Battuta at the time, but he's Maliki. Malikis usually will pray with their hands to their side.
Yeah.
And some people confuse them for Shias because, they just don't know. And so, that could... You're absolutely right. It could be a problem for people who just are not knowledgeable. You know?
In case of the Ibn Battuta, he went to Delhi and they make them Qadi. Like Qadi is like a judge in Islam. And he tell them, I'm Maliki, so I cannot judge Hanafi people.
Right.
And they told, what's the Maliki is? We couldn't understand. Like Turkic people, they couldn't understand.
Yeah.
And they told he's Shia.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. The best part who understand if he's Shia or no, they cook him for dinner and bring the rabbit.
Oh,
because Shia people don't eat rabbit.
Don't eat rabbit, yeah.
But Malikis are eat.
Yeah.
And he start eating rabbit, and they say, "Oh, okay, he's one of us. He's not Shia."
That's an interesting.
Yeah, being Maliki doesn't matter. Like whichever scholar you support, it didn't matter on that time.
Yeah.
One of the things was you are Sufi, and you were welcome in the all Islamic civilization. And the same idea comes from the Roman Empire, that you can go from Rome to Egypt, just using the same language, same coins, and the same law, which is more important. Yeah.
Wow.
And the same for the Islamic civilization. Yeah. He went from Tangier, like from Morocco, to China, under the same language. They probably spoke Arabic there. Yeah, and
in China?
Like Muslim people in China doesn't speak Arabic. They probably speak.
I don't think
because of the how they learn the Quran. Then.
That's true. I think they would just learn it to read the Quran, but I think most of the teachings would have been done in Chinese.
Oh,
My experience, anyways, being an Uyghur who's grown up as a Muslim, not in China, but a lot of the Uyghurs in China don't know how to speak Arabic.
oh, okay.
But
Even
wouldn't you
the
say
Han
back
Chinese,
then,
even
like
the
for
priests.
example, when Islam was a lot stronger and it was
Yeah.
growing
Yeah.
quicker, wouldn't you say that there was at least a few people that were learning Arabic?
Yeah,
I mean,
and-
even like now, I suppose not under, you know, the CCP, but
Of course,
there were Uyghurs or at least Chinese
Yeah.
Muslims who were trying to learn Arabic. So it would
it
have been easier
been,
for.
there would have been a lot more freedom to learn Arabic back before,
Yeah.
like during the dynasties, for example, the
100%.
Ming and Qing
100%.
dynasties.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we need to
Um,
understand. Sorry to
yeah.
interrupt. We need to understand that he went to the, like a tekkes where
Yeah.
all the people who give their life to learn Quran and Arabic, who they can be like after they release from the tekke, they can be like imams
Hmm.
or the collect the what call it?
You mean collecting what? Collecting donations?
You like Imam Bukhari?
Oh, collect the hadith.
Hadith, yeah, like
Oh,
you can,
yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah, of
collect the
course.
hadith or like do the interpretation of the Quran. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So they, in my opinion, they probably spoke Arabic,
yeah,
but it's not like a full Arabic that
sure,
the
but
people should speak, but like a conversation, like you want tea or like you good. In this kind of case, like, I think
It's enough to get
yeah,
by,
I
enough
think
to
they
learn
could
the
speak.
Quran.
Yeah,
But unfortunately, I think we've lost that almost completely, I think, with the rise of nationalism and this idea that Arabic is for Arabs, you know, that I see that unfortunately with a lot of Turks.
Yeah.
They can't understand that if you're Muslim, you know, you should emphasize the importance of Arabic because it's the language
Yeah.
that Allah speaks to us with in the Quran.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't become something political, you know, like a Turk shouldn't say, oh yeah, no, I don't want to have to learn the Arabic, or I want to base it off the transliteration
Yeah.
in English or the Turkish transliteration because it's just easier for me. And, you know, there's unfortunately, like, it's not in every case, but there's a lot of cases of racism where people just don't want to associate themselves that much with Islam because of the association with Arabs.
yeah, that's true.
And we've sort of lost the importance of Arabic as a language.
Yeah, it's
you know?
it's start when the like a salafism start in the like Arabian Peninsula.
Yeah.
They start to seeing the other people,
As enemies.
not enemies, like the Quran came for the Arab people, so we
Mm.
are more superior. Even the Quran say you're all brothers. The Salafi people start saying, oh, the Turks, they learned this Islam from Persians.
Yeah.
So that's why we have common sense on the like a namaz or
Yeah.
like the Arab
Mm.
people don't speak,
That's
don't call it namaz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They call it salah.
Salah.
Yeah. So that start dividing the Muslims and the Arabs, especially Sunnis, like who live in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and bring the Arabic nationalism, who just hit back in the First World War
Yeah.
when the Arabs in the Arabian Peninsula united with the English and the
Against Ottoman.
against Ottoman
Yeah.
Empire.
Yes.
Even though Ottoman, like Sultan of Ottoman Empire was the Khalifa,
Okay.
yeah, because the
Of course.
He was the
Yeah,
successor.
yeah, he was the successor
person
of
to
the-
come after
yeah, he was the Khalifa and he called for the jihad.
Mm.
Jihad is the calling for war against the
The transgressions.
enemies,
of
enemies. Yeah, and then yeah, so it's they start dividing and saying that oh we are Arab Muslim and that you are that become Muslim after.
Hmm.
Like we were born Muslim
Yeah.
and our fathers Muslim or our grandparents Muslim. Yeah, it starts from that. Yeah, I don't like it either.
yeah.
Yeah, and then the interpretation of Quran, like when the people use the transcripts for them, it can be very easily to use for other means. Like you can,
Unfortunately.
like you can see it a lot, like with with the same with the Salafis or the Islamic State, that they use the
Yeah.
interpretation of Islam or Quran in the wrong way.
It's fundamentalist.
Yeah.
It's literalist. So they don't have any sort of like. There is no second opinion. Only their opinion matters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and their
Mm,
opinion are
so-
true.
Interesting.
Apparently.
And they take the and they say they take the opinion from Quran
Yeah.
itself, and they reject all the hadiths, like all the mainstream interpretation of Qurans, like all the sects in Islam that we spoke about, Hanafi and the Malikis.
Right. Those sects are
Yeah.
quite important. Can I just say, I suppose to end on a positive note as well, just because we're in this global era of the digitalization and social media of the youth. I think it's so important, and how young people are using it, especially young people in Australia with access to so much advanced technology. And there is this thing known as a third culture where it's like, maybe you might not have experienced this, but me and maybe Shahzad, we find that we're not fully Australian,
Yeah.
but might not fully be Turkish.
Identity
or-
crisis.
Yeah, identity crisis.
I-
I wouldn't call it identity crisis
I-
because you can still be happy
I
as an
got that when
Australian
I was
Turk.
you know? In uni during COVID.
Right.
It hit me all of a sudden,
Yeah.
like who I am. So just a little bit about me. I didn't know how to speak Uyghurcha properly until like 20 years old.
Right.
And then I was all of a sudden hit by the fact that I'm actually Uyghur. Like my ancestors are Uyghur.
Mm.
My ancestors are Central Asians. We're all like nomads. None of my ancestors actually like toiled for the ground here in Australia.
Yeah.
And I had a kind of enlightenment, I guess,
Yeah.
from who I was. And from that point onwards, I started to learn more about my language, culture, history, everything really.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, who do we identify with? Do we identify with the land that we're currently staying in, that we're working from, that we're
That provides for us.
provides
Yeah.
for us, or do we identify with our ancestors, our blood, so to speak?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like there can be a mix of both. You
Yeah.
can be a proud Turk or someone who has Turkish ideals and culture and carries that strongly, but is still grateful for and appreciates and respects the people of the land that they're on right now. You know, so the Australians around us, like we have to be very respectful. They're the ones that has basically allowed us into the country. You know what I mean? Like, not to sound like, like we're not built on this country. Sort of got built on racism, but today it's not really that much racist anymore, I think, because look,
it's
I
in
mean,
a different way. It's
in a different way, I suppose. But
it's
look how
low-key.
many people are coming in from all over the world. You know, there are still people coming in with due processes in the right way. You know, you came as a student, someone might come as a worker. And
There's
so
still a
it's
long
important.
way to go. Let's be honest.
100%.
Yeah.
Especially for refugees.
But we have come a long way too. I think since 1970s.
I guess when you
Why
say
should
like
I pause?
we're not explicitly racist anymore. Yeah, you're right. We're not out in the streets yelling like slurs at people.
But you're still allowed to practice your identity. You know, like when I say that, I mean you're allowed to practice your culture, your religion, everything like that. You wouldn't really be able to do that in China. You know what I'm trying to say? So I feel
We're
like
not
that's
there
why
yet, but I feel like we are getting there, like slowly.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
A lot of countries are unfortunately copying the likes of China, Iran, and all these other dictatorships.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm happy that like Australia is so, I guess you could say, forward thinking. You know, it's just trying to allow more and more people to practice their.
Alhamdulillah, Peter Dutton didn't get the position in the last election.
That's true.
I mean, if that happened, we would just another step closer to like China or Iran or something. But
Yeah, and just
Really?
for me
Yeah.
about the identity and
tell us
which
about your identity here in Australia.
which
How has it been settling here in Australia for you?
yeah,
Yeah.
but like as I say, you cannot find Uzbek people here, but for you and for Turkish people, they're more lucky. Like you can go to some restaurant and have Turkish food or Uyghur food, and you feel like little bit at home, and you feel like the culture. And then for Uzbek people, you cannot find anything. Like there's no Uzbek food. Like the Uzbek community is so small, and you feel this kind of crisis. But the thing is, understand. This country is beautiful because it's diverse. Like you cannot find Uzbek food. I went to the Uyghur food. Yeah, I will go to the Turkish food.
It's very similar.
Yeah,
I do love going
very
to the
similar.
Uyghur restaurant.
Yeah.
I feel
I
like
would-
I'm in Uzbekistan.
I would say the Beshkozan polo is better than Uyghur polo though.
Yeah,
I
now
would say
Tashkent polo is the
I've
best.
had it,
Is the
I've had
best.
it, and like
In Beshkazan?
Beshkozan.
I actually went to there too. Actually,
Yeah,
It was pretty good.
I mean Beshkazan is now it's more for the tourist.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
it's no-go place.
Next time we go, you have to show me where not to go to tourists.
Yeah, it's a one next to the Kokcha Mosque,
Okay.
just the opposite of that.
I went to that mosque. Yeah.
Yeah, so,
beautiful.
yeah, it's just the
Beautiful,
opposite of
yeah.
that. It's a one. It's very small.
Okay.
They do like around. I say small. They do like 60 kilo follow, but like for Tashkent
that's how it's
measures,
supposed to
yeah,
be done.
it is
Yeah.
Just
small.
so you guys, in context, we're talking about rice. And
Rice,
we're talking
yeah.
about all
Yeah.
the meats.
Deep fried rice with
Yeah.
the carrots and lamb.
And
Yeah,
the yellow
yeah.
carrot.
Yellow
It's
carrots.
it's a beautiful food for everyone. You know,
Yeah.
anyone of any background, social class, whatever.
Yeah.
You can always enjoy, that kind of food, the rice and.
And I make it one day here in Australia, and
Yeah.
and
So
invite my
You're
friends.
saying
and they
that
like it.
like food is a big part of your like connecting back to home.
Yeah,
That's really good.
You know what I realized though, that even though the Uzbek community is only 100 something, right, here in Melbourne, you actually get together every weekend and play soccer. That can't be said for the Uyghurs.
Yeah.
Like that's
Uyghurs?
Yeah.
What do you mean, soccer?
Yeah.
You know about the tournament?
The
that they
yearly,
have
but
yearly.
it happens once a year. There is no
But they're still,
consistent.
you know, connected between the cities. I think like within
Yes,
Sydney,
yeah.
there's the groups, especially Adelaide.
So there's about almost 10,000 Uyghurs in Australia, which is significantly more than the Uzbeks, even though we're like essentially like very similar in our lineage.
Yeah.
I would say like the Uzbeks are a lot better at like just community like building, especially here in Melbourne, because we don't have the same turnout for the weekly football, like weekly soccer stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's because we're like a small community.
Yeah.
Imagine do the soccer for 10,000.
You have like
Uyghurs,
Greeks
like
as well. The Greeks are like many tens of thousands here, and they can actually like have a proper community in Oakley
Oh,
and
and
stuff.
Turks
Yeah.
as well.
Turks,
Yeah, Turks,
Yeah.
So I think it's not just about the size, but maybe more about how Uzbeks like are more. They trust each other a lot more than Uyghurs.
I would say more interconnected. Yeah,
Yeah.
but probably for that. Yeah.
There's a whole political reason behind it as well. We won't get into in this podcast, but the Uyghurs, they don't trust each other very much, especially those that live in diasporas in the in the Western world.
Yeah, it's a bit sad.
We'll get into another conversation about that in another episode.
For now, though,
Yeah,
I mean, you've spoken about Uzbekistan and the hospitality, the culture, the landmarks, and the food, especially. I feel like going back to Uzbekistan. There's so many beautiful historical sites important to Islam, like you talked about the monasteries and even, old universities. What was it called? Registan is known as the one of the oldest universities, and it's in Uzbekistan. So it's really a beautiful place, and it's a reason why you should connect with the culture. About that stuff.
And to add to the all the places, first handwritten Quran. It's in Tashkent.
Oh
yeah,
wow!
it's in the Imam al-Bukhari complex.
Yes,
that you can visit. So now it's a center of Islamic civilization.
Yeah.
It's become more bigger, and you can go and visit the places.
Yeah, Imam al-Bukhari. That's his place of burial.
Yes.
I don't know if it's where he was born, but it's where he's now buried.
Yeah.
Uzbekistan.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very close to Samarkand. He's buried very close to Samarkand.
Yeah. I think I was told it was like between Samarkand and Bukhara. Like he's not actually buried in Bukhara.
No.
He's in between
it's between there. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, very interesting.
Well,
Yeah, I think we'll wrap it off there. But thank you very much to everyone who listened. And we do really appreciate you, Mirza, for
Thank you so
joining
much.
us. We hope to see you
It
again.
was nice to see you.
First guest on the show. First of
That's an
many.
honor. That's a big
Yeah,
honor.
thank you
If
so
we
much.
get more and more
It
views,
had to be in
inshallah.
Uzbek. Definitely. Had to be.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Okay. Yeah, well, teşekkür ederiz. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Osh.
Look at how this guy eats his Scotch fingers. He didn't break it apart.
I
That's
don't break it,
crazy.
bro.